Hello, trail travelers. Welcome to day 2 of our Rimrocker Trail adventure. Last night we found this great camping site. We set up the tribe trailer. We had some steaks. It was phenomenal. The weather last night was beautiful. It was probably close to 50 degrees, so it wasn't very cold at all. And we have a really dirty Jeep and trailer right now, and we need to get out of here and hit the trail. So stay right there. We'll be right back. All right, unfortunately we had to leave our beautiful campsite. What an evening, right?
Oh, what a morning too.
What a morning. I mean, last night we had some mosquitoes for a little while until it got cooler.
It didn't bother me.
They didn't really bother us. And then this morning it was flies and wasps, but
One.
again, they didn't really bother us. I mean, we had centronella candles and stuff going, and we could hear them and they were flying around, but they really weren't much of a problem for us. And
It's only because of you have special relations with
yes,
them.
I have special relations with bugs. All right, so we just came out of our little hiding spot and we are back on Rimrocker Trail. And we're probably about 1.5 miles or 2 miles from Buckeye Reservoir. So we're probably gonna stop there, empty our trash, and just kind of check it out. And it is Labor Day weekend. Today's Saturday, right?
Yes.
So today is Saturday of Labor Day weekend. So it's going to be interesting to see how many people are there and whether we made the right choice in our campsite, which I'm sure we did. Regardless of, even if there's nobody at Buckeye, we still made the right choice because of the view, right?
Yes.
So we'll plod on along here on Rimrocker. The trail is very wet this morning. It didn't rain. Well, it rained yesterday.
Yes.
So we had some really heavy rain yesterday for a while, and this mud is nasty. It's like clay, and it has stuck to everything.
Yeah, we have to give up our water to open the trailer.
Oh yeah, I mean, all of our shower water went to just cleaning off the doors so we could open up the trailer and get food and stuff. So we didn't get we didn't get as clean personally as we would like, but we took some wipe showers this morning and got cleaned up. And that's what I'm hoping to find at Buckeye, is hopefully we can find some water, a water spigot that we can hook up to, refill our shower water so that it warms up during the day, and hopefully be able to hose off a little bit more of the Jeep and the trailer.
Mud.
We're definitely going to have to take it to a car wash in Moab.
Mud.
Oh, lots of icky mud.
Oh, great. Oh, great.
Oh, we are sliding like crazy. Okay, we're going to have to, we're going to close the windows here because I'm going to have to kind of plow through this and make sure we don't get too stuck in it. And now we have to deal with the tires flinging mud everywhere for the next 10 minutes. So, well, look at this. I mean, we've come out and we've already seen 2 really nice little campsites right off the road. And we certainly were not right off the road. We were down almost 1/4 mile from the road, which was nice. These campsites are great because they're easier to get to. You don't need, a big beef vehicle to get down to. They're right on the road. The downside is they're right on the road, and you have people like us at, well, it's 9:30. It should be expected that people are on the trail at 9:30. But you don't want, the louder vehicles, whipping by your camp first thing in the morning. And what do we have here? Okay, well, you're gonna have to see how far over we can get. I'll get over here. I didn't record it, because I hadn't asked the person first, but we just met a guy named Jeff in his white Gladiator who was doing the trail going the opposite direction from Moab to Montrose. Had a good conversation with him. So Jeff, if you catch this video, thanks for stopping and spending a few moments chit-chatting. Hope you enjoyed the rest of your trip on Rimrocker. So now we're just kind of doing some more cruising. We just passed Q3 when continuing straight. We're at the 105.3 mile mark, and we should be in the Monte La Salle National Forest. Now, at this point, the Rimrocker signs are going to be brown instead of green. Just something to take note of when you're watching for the signs. They are a different color now. And in about 2 miles, we'll hit Buckeye Reservoir. Oh, we came around this corner and there is just this magnificent view. And there is no haze, there is no smoke. It is absolutely gorgeous today. I mean, there was a lot of the rain from yesterday. Definitely, if there was any smoke left, it definitely dropped that out. But look at this view. This is why we do what we do. We enjoy the rock crawling, we enjoy going on the harder trails, but we enjoy getting out and seeing Mother Nature like this. And it's really hard to pass this up. I know this isn't for everybody. We have friends that don't enjoy the kind of the scenic stuff, more of the overlanding things. They like hitting the trails, and that is totally fine. I would not begrudge anybody for their personal preferences. We happen to like both, but being able to just stop and see a scene like this just totally blows me away. Okay, notice the sign here, camping allowed in designated sites only. We must be in the National Forest area now instead of the BLM land. So there's probably designated campsites along the way. They would have little signs on them. So just because there's a little turnout doesn't mean that it's okay to camp there. And you definitely don't want to just drive off trail. But look at this ground. See how red it is? This is going to be awful to clean off the Jeep and the trailer. This red clay mud is just sticky as hell. But we'll be yeah, we just got to roll with it. It's part of it, right? But we're coming up on the campgrounds. There's some information over here. There's like some old wood stuff. There's campgrounds on our left. So we have arrived at Buckeye Reservoir. This drive around the reservoir is really pretty because it's more open forest. It's not as tight as we're used to seeing along this trail. The other thing is there are cows here. So again, you got to watch for the cows. And maybe more important than watching for the cows is watching for the cow pies if you're walking around. So we're actually going to get off trail, quote unquote, off trail here. And we're going to try and do a little drive by and see if we can get a better glimpse of the reservoir. So we are going to have to go by some people who are camping, so we'll take it nice and easy there. But we want to see if we can get a view of Buckeye Reservoir. Well, unfortunately, the reservoir is pretty empty. There's very, very, very little water in the reservoir right now. And we've seen this in a number of reservoirs on this side of the Continental Divide, unfortunately. Now on our side, on the Atlantic side, all of our reservoirs are topped off with water. It's so nice to see all that water in all of our reservoirs. But on this side, from Ouray and Montrose and all those areas and here, the reservoirs are pretty empty. And while they've been getting some rain and stuff, it's not really enough to be filling these reservoirs up. So it's a little on the sad side to see the lack of water that has accumulated over here. So we did drive around. There are lots of campsites, probably because of that, because there's really no fishing or anything to be had here. It's a good starting point for many trails. A lot of people here have Jeeps and SUVs and ATVs and stuff. So if you're looking for a good starting point for some of the trails in the area, Buckeye Reservoir is definitely a good one. But if you're looking for some fishing, yeah, I don't really think you can probably just walk out there with a net and just scoop stuff up. So we're getting back to Rimrocker Trail. Are we good on that side?
Yes.
Okay. Pulling back on, and we'll go from here, see what else is ahead of us. We have another, we call a moo roadblock up ahead. Actually, he just moved his butt off to the side, so we'll just take it nice and easy so we don't spook him and have him jump out in front of us. I know, just trying to enjoy your breakfast, and you got us hauling through here. And from here, we're gonna take a right.
There is another
And
sign.
so see the brown sign right there with the tiny little logo on it? That is what we're looking for right now, is these little Rimrocker signs with the tiny logos on them. On the Colorado side, or on the other side of the National Forest area, where they were on the green signs, they were much easier to see. So we'll come up here in a little bit. We will be on the Colorado and Utah border. We have hit 108.8 miles, and we are at the Utah-Colorado state line. It's kind of interesting that the sign is broken, but right down the middle. But I've seen that picture many, many times. And off to our left is the ranger station, which looks like it's built right on the middle of the state line as well. And more cows. There's lots of cows around here. So we are now in Utah. San Juan County?
Yes.
So we do know that near the end of the trail in Moab, it becomes very technical, and it's going to be kind of interesting to see how we make it through that with our tribe trailer. But we're looking forward to a challenge. But now in hindsight, what do you think of our decision to just take that little road and go pitch camp off in, well, where we did?
I think it was absolutely great decision. Yeah, it was much more enjoyable than being here.
Yeah, I think we would have had to fight mosquitoes with all that nasty water. It was definitely a lot more people, and there was really nothing of interest. Without the reservoir having any water in it, there wasn't anything to really see either.
There's nothing wrong with that. You can be in the forest, enjoy the trees. It's just what is preferences.
Yeah.
We wanted a view. We wanted fantastic view, epic view. We found it. So we're happy with our choice.
Yep, absolutely. The forest opens up to this nice big meadow here, like this old corral here. This is a good time to mention gates. There are a number of gates that you're going to go through on Rimrocker Trail, and the rule of thumb is leave them as you found them. If it was closed, go through it. Open it, go through it, but close it again. If it's open, leave it open. So whatever state the gate is when you go through it, leave it in that state. So sometimes they'll be closed, and that's for livestock and stuff. So open it, go through it, and close it. Just leave the gates in whatever condition you found them. Okay, we are coming up on 2 Mile Road here, and we're going to turn left at the cow. May not be the best thing to look for, so you might want to look for this sign right here on the right that says Rimrocker Trail to the left. We have this toll keeper here. We're going to drop our tolls off here. Oh, what a pretty color on his head.
Mm-hmm. He has a very big part over there.
Yeah.
Hanging down.
And we're going to come up on this meadow here that's got tons of cows on it. And we're just being extra careful that cows don't really jump out in front of vehicles, but you know, they can get spooked and run. So we're just going to be nice and careful going through here that we don't spook them. We don't want to be harassing the cows. Well, just past the field of moose, we got some aspens. We haven't seen aspens in a while, have we?
Yeah, since yesterday.
Well, yeah, but in terms of altitude and distance,
Yeah.
it's been quite a while.
From desert back to aspens.
And lots of cattle guards.
Flowers.
This is a little different. Now we're in kind of a grassland area here. But look at these beautiful yellow flowers. I mean, because of the rain yesterday, there's no dust on them. So the colors are just popping like crazy. I mean, the way they're thicker right on the edge of the road, it makes it almost look like they were planted to just kind of give you a guideway through here. But these yellows are just almost unreal. They're so bright.
Enjoy the beauty.
But this green grass, man.
Yeah, it's hard to believe it is September. Usually at this time we see what? Brown on everything.
Everything's starting to turn brown. Yeah. But I think this is one of the things that makes Rimrocker such a fun trail is the many different ecosystems that you go through. We've been in thick forest, desert, alpine forests, or not alpine forests, I mean aspen forests, aspen groves. We've
Rocks.
been in,
Rocks.
crazy rock formation stuff, and now we're in, I'm not really sure what to call this, grasslands, something like that.
There's trees.
There's trees, but I mean, it's just really pretty. So you just have this wide variety of things.
And still something coming.
Oh yeah, there's plenty more ahead of us. I mean, we still have over 60 miles to go on Rimrocker Trail, and we're going to take it really easy today, and we may not even make it through today. I mean, it just kind of depends. We know that there's more things to see, and there are a ton of side trails. We just don't know if we're taking any of them and going off on any tangents until we do a little bit more research up ahead and kind of see really what's out there to explore. In doing some research, some of the trails would lead you an hour and a half off the trail to go see the former site of something, and there's nothing there. So there's really nothing to see, no old buildings or anything. It's just there used to be buildings here, and that doesn't seem too interesting just in terms of driving around. So but we'll see how things go, and we may even stop by the visitor center in Neutrella, I think is the name of it. I'm not quite sure, but we'll see what we decide to do later on. back into some forest.
Is it Nutella like chocolate?
Nutella? No, I don't think it's Nutella. I'm pretty sure it's not Nutella. It could be. I think it's Nutrella. Here's a little aspen grove right here. Now we've come down a little bit more. We have some amazing views here. These are some really different trees than we've seen. I don't even know what they are. But everything is green and lush right now. We got these beautiful views of the mountains. All right, we're coming up on an intersection here for LaSalle Pass Road. It's LaSalle Pass is 7 miles to the right. I think there's some city if you go in front of us. But right here, before we get to this gate, and as soon as it says leaving Monte La Salle National Forest, we see the Rimrocker sign here on a post. So we are going to make our right-hand turn here and head up into the mountains a little bit. Now I'm going to pause here for just a moment because we can get this glimpse of the mountains off to the driver's side. Now, I don't know what kind of trees are right here, but there's tons of these little trees here, kind of reminiscent of mesquite. But then off to our passenger side, we have this beautiful view of these mountains that seemingly go above timberline over there. Not quite sure how high those are, but look at these beautiful blue skies today. It is absolutely gorgeous here on Rimrocker Trail. Okay, so I paused for a moment. I wanted to see the altitude we're at, and we are at 7,800 feet. So it is possible that mountain over there in the different distance is above the tree line. So Katarina is telling me that these trees that we see here are in the oak family. They certainly look like it with the leaves now that we've got closer to them. And as you can see, the trail is much narrower, and it has been pretty rough going through here. Nothing, you know, the Jeep and the Tribe trailer can't handle. There's a lot of mud, and we are still spraying mud everywhere. Oh well, we're gonna have to do a deep cleaning when we're done. But this is just a nice kind of meandering trail through this tighter sections, which is kind of cool. The best thing about this is there's no more traffic. Now that we're off kind of a main road and we're back into the kind of trail type stuff, there's no traffic here, because what we were seeing was SUVs and pickups and, you know, stuff that would never go up this section. So we kind of have this area to ourselves right now. And probably because I said that, we'll probably have oncoming traffic and have to deal with that. But right now, we just have this beautiful area with these amazing views, kind of all to ourselves.
Film that side.
Oh, looking out the driver's side here, we've got a really cool view down into that valley. We see some homes and some ranches down there, but this is just, man, I don't know how we manage to get so lucky every single weekend to have beautiful weather and everything, and not just get stuck with rain or snow and things. It has been really a blessing this past year in terms of our luck on weekends, and we definitely picked a fantastic time to do Rimrocker. Well, this section has been some pretty slow going, anywhere from like 3 to 7 miles an hour. We're not making, we're not burning the miles away. I'll say that. You can't. This is a very rocky section and it's very narrow. We haven't really scraped on anything, so thank goodness for that. But the worst may still be yet to come. I mean, it may get a lot narrower. If that was the worst of it, I'm okay. But look at this view. I mean, it goes on forever. Absolutely staggering views on this side. So we're just gonna keep working our way down, and eventually we'll come up on US Forest Service Road 717, but we got a ways to go, probably another mile, and we'll hit that, and we'll keep to the left and head on. But right now we're just enjoying this amazing sky today, bright blues with all this greenery, and a little bit of fun going through some water. There have been quite a few water patches that we've had to go through, but you can't hit them fast because of the rocks. I mean, you have no idea what's under them, and most of them are really, really rough. So the key here is just take it slow. Because this stuff is oak, if it touches your body, you're gonna get some nasty scratches, and there's just nothing you can do about it. It's your vehicle is so wide, and it's only so wide of a trail, so at some point you're probably going to take a scratch here or there. Unfortunate, but it's the name of the game. But if you be as careful as you can going through it, they're not going to be deep gouges, at least not yet. So we'll see how things go, but it is narrow, and you do have to be careful going through here if you don't want scratches, that is. Yeah, we're kind of going through some switchbacks to drop some altitude here. Nice thing is, gives us some really awesome views down in the valley down there. Well, you can see just a huge, you can see a huge distance today. I mean, that is, I can't even guess how many miles that is. I mean, that could be 100, 150, 200 miles, the visibility right now. I mean, it's just hard to put into words, and there's just no way the camera is going to capture this. But most certainly, if you like these types of trails with a little bit of fun and some amazing views, this side of Rimrocker is pretty darn amazing, especially today. This little section here, there's an intersection. It's got a trail going off to the right. Doesn't seem like it really goes anywhere according to this, according to our maps anyway. But there are a couple of trails apparently on here that go off in some different directions, but I'm not seeing them. They're on the Trails Off-Road map, but I just didn't see them. We drove right past what should have been a couple, so I'm not really sure. The one that was there on our right, I think actually went back to one that we saw earlier and just kind of paralleled this particular one. this section is extremely rocky. We're having to go pretty slow. But it's not bad, and it's not a steep drop or anything. You just gotta take it slow so you don't rip your tires up. Some of these rocks look really sharp. So that's why good all-terrain or mud terrain tires are gonna do really well through here. But your street tires on a stock Jeep, not so much. They're just not thick enough. And you run over one of these really sharp rocks, or you clip the side of it, and it's gonna go right through the sidewall. You're gonna have a bad day with a torn up tire. But your all-terrains and mud terrains are a lot thicker of rubber with better materials, so they're gonna be able to take that kind of abuse a lot better. And air down, yeah. Now we haven't aired up since we started because we haven't really been on pavement for more than a mile. Well, I think that one stretch was 1.5 miles. So we've remained aired down, but we were only at 18 pounds. Now normally driving through something like this, we would drop lower just to make it more comfortable and allow us to go just a little bit quicker. But because we're maintaining that 18 to 20 PSI, we're having to slow down a little bit more just to keep our kidneys in one place. And the trail. We don't want to beat the trail up either. And with that mud, all these water spots, yeah, that it can do some damage to it. Are you enjoying driving?
Obviously. Don't you see?
Katerina took over driving a while back, and she does enjoy doing some of the driving. It's fun.
And I cannot get my spot back, right?
Ah. But for a beginner, and Katerina's not a beginner. Don't get me wrong. She's been driving the Jeep off-road for a little over a year now, so she's got quite a bit of experience under her belt on some pretty tricky trails. So this section here is just rough. So no reason some beginner can't handle this. Now, what you're in 4 low right now?
4 low manual 2.
4 low manual 2. That's allowing her to descend at a very controllable pace without having to get on the brakes and get those brakes all heated up. I mean, a really good example of that was just a few weeks ago when we were on Ophir Pass. We were sitting there having lunch, and this guy came down, I think he was in a Toyota pickup truck, and his brakes were hot. He pretty much probably destroyed his brake pads. They were smoking. You could smell it coming from a while back, and it lingered in the air long after he was gone. But he probably needed a brake job after doing that trail. And Ophir is not the steepest trails out there. So if you're not dropping into a low gear, like 4 low and manual 1 or 2, 3, whatever you need, you seriously can do some damage to your brakes. Now we're gonna come up on an intersection up here in a couple minutes, if we ever get there with the speed that we're going on these rocks, and we're going to turn right. So there should be some marked signage.
Oh, beautiful.
Oh yeah, this is gorgeous today. I mean, yeah, this view is crazy. Okay, this big tree on the left is going to be our little indicator here. Oh, look right there on the left-hand side. You see the Rimrocker sign telling us to make a right at this point. And thus we shall. So looking up on Gaia GPS, which we use quite a bit, if we drew a line straight in front of us, straight out, we would hit Pritchett Canyon, and just to the right of that, it's going to be Poison Spider and Hell's and Things, Fins and Things, Hell's Revenge. So all those trails are basically in front of us and off to about our 2 o'clock position. So what we are looking at in front of us is all of those amazing trails that are down there in Moab.
But it is still dozens miles ahead, right?
Oh, it's, well,
About a couple hundred miles.
no, as the crow flies, I mean, in a straight line, those are about 25 miles out.
No way.
Yeah, I'm looking at Gaia Maps, and 10, 20, about maybe 30 miles at the max for like Hell's Revenge and things. Yeah, they're about 30 miles straight out. Now, of course, we're not going to be driving straight. We're on Rimrocker Trail. So we might not even make it there today. So there's that. It's already getting close to 1 o'clock, and with stopping for lunch, then only about an hour or two, maybe 3 at the most, we're going to start looking for some place to stop for the night. And we know that the trail up ahead gets even trickier, so we may want to just tackle that in the morning and have a nice relaxing afternoon somewhere here on Rimrocker. Well, we have reached one of my favorite altitudes. And yes, I do have favorite altitudes, which is not that crazy of a thing. One of mine is the above, in like 12,500 feet, where you're above tree line and you're up in the alpine tundra. This is one of mine too, where we're at 7,600 feet, and that's where we get back into thick pine trees. And you can absolutely smell the pine trees through here. Just take a big, well, you can't. Well, viewers, you can't, but Katerina, you can. You take a nice deep breath and smell those pine trees, and it just, it just smells so good. So yes, the 7,600s, one of my favorite altitudes. Well, we've come down in altitude quite a bit. We're down at 6,500 feet above sea level, and it's kind of an interesting terrain here. Tons of just old wood mixed in with these yellow flowers and these different little trees scattered around. And the road has got comparatively smoother. Back before our last break there, we stopped for lunch, and prior to that, the road was really, really rocky for a long time. And I mean, it's not smooth, but it's smoother. The rocks are smaller. There's more dirt. So, able to do a little bit better on speed and cruise along. Now, it's already coming up on 2:30 in the afternoon. So we don't want to go too late before trying to figure out what we're going to do for this evening. Now, we know there are some camp spots up ahead, and if one of them looks right, maybe we'll just stop for the night. Or maybe we'll keep going and see what else. Today, this trip is kind of about playing it by ear, because it's really hard to plan, where there aren't reservations. And that was pretty much the goal of this trip, was to do it without making reservations anywhere and staying in
Free. Free.
Well, we want to stay in free places, but we don't want to stay in RV parks. We don't want to stay
I'm
in
free on time, that
yeah.
we're not obligated with dates or time.
Right. We have 5 days available to us, and so we have lots of time. We're only on our second day, But it's just, yeah, we're taking it easy, seeing what happens, and figuring out one thing at a time. All right, Trails Off Road is telling us we're gonna turn right here, and so does the Rimrocker Trail sign. This is Black Ridge Trail. It's a winding canyon road that makes the final drop into the Moab Valley. It says it's not difficult, but it's rocky in a few places. So, making a right here, and can't wait to see what this section of the trail is like. Wow, look at this. I mean, we've been in kind of flats for a while, like really flat deserty section, and all of a sudden, you know, we kind of turn a corner and we're in, you know, we're right next to this canyon. So this is super cool. Again, with the diversity of the Rimrocker Trail, you know, being so long and going through 2 states and all these varied areas, it really makes it a fascinating trail to run. Now I'm gonna go ahead and come around this corner here, and we should have a shot down this canyon. Yeah, look at this. How cool is that shot? We're coming up on this kind of turn here, and right in front of us you see this big cliff face. I'll make this turn slow so we can kind of follow it. Oh, really pretty. Boy, up ahead is the mountain that we've driven all the way around. Now this...
The road goes over there.
Yeah. Now we know and have been told that somewhere on this side, near the end, is a much more technical section. And I'm not entirely sure where that is. And of course, that's going to be dependent on someone's vehicle and their skill level and experience and stuff. I mean, I could actually see where, you know, some of the stuff we've just done could be considered more technical, because it is more technical, but it certainly isn't an issue for us, even with the trailer. But here we've got, you know, it's really bumpy, and we're on a shelf road, and we're going to get a little off camber, and yeah, so this could be a little more, or considered a little more technical than some of the other stuff that we've done. Okay, going through a little gate there, and we can see, I think, yeah, we got some like switchbacks. So I think looking down on the driver's side, I see the road down below us. I think we're going to come up here and make like some hairpin turns and weave our way down into that canyon right there. But this is nice and wide. It's about a vehicle and a half wide. So if someone was coming up, we could easily find some place to make room. Unlike a lot of that section today, there was just no passing room at all. That was, I mean, we're really thankful we didn't run into anybody in those sections. But here, there's plenty of passing room. So we're just gonna slow down and descend down into the canyon. I've been driving this road, like trying to think of what does this remind me of? And this odd thing, and not everybody is probably going to relate to this or even get it, but I keep thinking like the Calico gold mine at Knott's Berry Farm. It's as odd as that seems. It's like the colors here, and you just have these random rocks sticking out. It just, I don't know. It just made me kind of reminisce about the Calico gold mine. Some of the section actually reminds me of the Calico area in California, where a bunch of old mines are, and we used to go camping there quite a bit back in my younger days. But yeah, this is a very interesting location here, and yeah, quite cool to see. All right, we have hit Pole Canyon Road, in which case we are turning right. As you see, there are tons of places to go around here. I mean, there's other trails. You don't have to stick to Rimrocker Trail. I just don't have any information on any of the other ones because none of my apps have data on them. I see that the trail is there, but like Trails Off-Road, somebody has to physically go out and map these trails for them, and for that to be on their website and be in their app. And so they just can't get to everything. And so we just don't know what everything goes to, or if anything is even interesting. So we specifically wanted to finish Rimrocker Trail, so that's what we're doing. Oh, look at this view right here. Kind of odd to see a guardrail, but just look at that view. All the red rocks and slick rock over there. Gosh, that even looks like Hell's Revenge immediately to our right. It's just crazy coming into Moab this way and really seeing all that red rock from a distance. It's funny. Yeah, it is actually kind of interesting seeing guardrails on here. But yeah, you wouldn't want to go off. That would be a really bad day for you.
It's interesting because you're from Colorado.
It is interesting being from Colorado now, and there are almost no guardrails anywhere. Yeah, it's very different. Now, according to Trails Off-Road, there are several campsites between here and the next checkpoint. And we're going to pass BFE, which is a private off-road park. I've never been there either. So, should be some interesting things to see along the way here as we work towards the next waypoint.
Okay.
Well, right here on our right is Area BFE. And this is a private area that you can get into. This is an off-road park. I don't know what's interesting about it. I've never been in there, but I've heard some people say that they enjoy it. So if you're looking into something like that, check out Area BFE and see if this is something that you might want to do. But I just wanted to point it out as we move along here. And coming up, there's another trail that I think we're going to have to take a pass on today. Okay, up here on the right, Coyote Canyon 4x4 route. And the gate's locked. Okay, well, kind of cinches that. But we weren't going to do it anyway because this is rated a 9.5 to 10 for extreme off-road rock crawling. This is much more of a buggy trail than a Jeep trail. So it's not one that we would have done anyway, but definitely not going to do it. I mean, well, we weren't going to do it on this trip. So not something I probably would even attempt to do in the Jeep without going through this with somebody on a more capable rig. But if you're interested, look up Coyote Canyon 4x4 route, but I'm not sure why it's locked today. So either way, we're not going in, so we're going to continue on Rimrocker Trail. And it looks like we are coming up on the highway. Got some big toy haulers down here. People getting ready with their side-by-sides. And we'll have to get on the highway for...
No, not here.
Oh no, from here we take the frontage road. So we're still not getting on the highway yet. Well, that's kind of cool. All right, so we'll parallel the highway for a while and keep driving off-road. Okay, so as soon as we pass the cattle guard there, instead of hopping on the freeway, we'll make a right on the frontage road. And we're gonna continue on this for, looks like about a mile before we get to the next waypoint. Well, I think we have found, for us, the most difficult part of this trail. And I'm not concerned about making it, but it is going to be extremely tight on the breakover angle with the trailer. So we're just going to take this nice and easy, and we'll see what happens. I think the worst that would happen is we might scrape the tongue in the dirt a little bit, but I mean, I sure didn't hear anything. So I think we made it through that just fine. And look, old pavement. So I think we have found the sections here that people say are the most technical of the trail. And really, they're not difficult at all. You just have to, don't hit them with any speed is really the key to it there. And yep, we'll just roll right through it with the trailer. Not a big deal. Okay, we got past those two little obstacles there, and then right after that was a huge camping area that you could just set up real easily and go to town there. There's also a couple that are back in a little bit more shaded area that might be a little more isolated. But right now we're still kind of paralleling the highway here. Where you can actually see cars kind of right next to us here. We're going to come up and kind of veer to the right to avoid having to get on pavement for right now. So we see a sign up here. There we go. There's our Rimrocker Trail sign going into this fenced area. Oh, we got to be a little careful of these ruts here. And no problem, plenty of room. Over the cattle guard, and what's it say here? No camping. No camping down that road. Oh, well, let's not check out that road today then. But now, off to the next checkpoint and see what we have going on up there. Now, if you decided that you wanted to just get on the highway back there before we turned onto the frontage road, I totally would not blame you. This seems to be just taking a dirt road for the sake of taking a dirt road. Although, to be fair, the two biggest obstacles we've seen have been on this frontage road. So, if you don't want to miss those two obstacles, then you're going to want to take the frontage road. If you're just ready to get back into town, then hop on the highway. Pretty simple.
Okay, those two obstacles were difficulty number 2.
Yeah, there really isn't much to those. So right now, it just seems like we're just burning up dirt miles for the sake of burning up dirt miles. Which, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. I think I'd rather be here than on the highway, but it is what it is. And now I will say we are under a quarter tank of gas at this point that we have left. So we filled up in Nucla, and we are going to make it to Moab without any problem, but it's close. And had we taken any side trails that, you know, we thought we might have, then we would have not had enough gas. Now I do have a Rotopax on the back with 2.5 gallons of gas. That's good for about 20 some miles, you know, so it would have helped and probably made sure that we were clear. But this was really tight. Now, this is not going to be the case for everybody. We're towing a trailer, so your gas mileage will certainly vary. But if you do decide to do this while pulling a trailer, understand you will get less than 10 miles per gallon. So take that into consideration. I knew we'd probably be, you know, cutting it, but I certainly thought we'd be okay. And having the extra Rotopax on there bought us an extra level of safety. So not a big deal. We're making it just fine. And we'll make it with more than 1/8 of a tank of gas and not have to touch the Rotopax. Okay, well, we have another obstacle in front of us, but this time, instead of a drop, we have a fairly steep little climb here. So this will be definitely interesting with the trailer, but we're just gonna take it nice and easy and roll up this and roll down it. And made it without any problem. Okay, well, we got to this graded section of the road here, and we're going to come up and make a left, and we are going to be on pavement. So this is LaSalle Road. So we're going to make a left here and see if there's something else ahead where the trail technically ends. I think it should have ended back there, but I didn't design it. So we're determined to take Rimrocker Trail from start to finish. So we'll head up to the final checkpoint and see what's there. Alrighty, we have finished Rimrocker Trail. We did do it in 2 days. It is now 4 o'clock in the afternoon here on the second day, and we are in Moab. So how long does it take to do it? Well, it depends on how long you want to take it in. Pulling a trailer definitely slowed us down a bit, but it wasn't that bad, and we could have added another day just to putz around and just hang out one more time, but we just couldn't find a campsite that had some good shade to it. So we decided to keep going, and we're going to go try and find some other campsite, maybe along the Colorado River. And then tomorrow we're going to go do something else. But this was Rimrocker Trail. So glad we did it. 160 miles of off-roading with our Tribe trailer. Absolutely rocked it with that. What a beast that guy is. Absolutely love it. And next stop up, car wash. So thanks for watching, everybody. This has been Kerry with Trail Traveler. Please like, share, and subscribe. Stay safe out there. We'll catch you later. Bye-bye.